Hello, family. So let me turn this music down. I rarely get the call to do this, so I'm going to do the collective energy for the day. I really already know what it is. I know what we're going to talk about, but let me give you the card for those of you who need to see that card. Vulnerability. Now, you check out the card while you hear about the card, okay? Just check it out. For those of you into numerology, this card is number 140. All right. Be vulnerable with yourself or others. It may also be time to step into the role of healer and hold space. Holding space means being fully present without judgment in a way that provides a safe and nurturing environment. In this place, guards can be dropped and a deeper level of awareness and relating can unfold. Enabling unconditional love and acceptance allows for vulnerabilities to be expressed, for the core of dis-ease to be discovered, and for profound healing to take place. Okay, so the channel message, the channel I tuned into this morning was specifically about how we are to be showing up to the world no matter what is going on. My apologies, I had someone come in. That'll happen from time to time. So, yes, vulnerability. The channel I tapped into this morning, how we show up right now is urgent. It's really, really important. I know this because after I hear the dings and I acknowledge them and they keep going, I count them for urgency. So this is one of the bigger ones for those who are tapped in to receive this message. There are a lot of healers among this, I'm calling it collective, this group that is exchanging with me in every now moment that you see this video. This is actually your tap to not awaken because you've done that, but to step into service. It's really not hard to do, and I just want to take this time to demystify what it means by holding space. You have newly awakened and you have people who are getting their legs and learning how to do all of the things that prepare one for walking in not just unity, but 0 point with themselves. I hope that this particular channel will let me get into that, that I can circle back to it. But you learn how, because you're in this, we're all in this duality, because that's where choice is an option. So we all live in this dualistic world here, and we have the freedom and the privilege of choice, making choices every single moment of every single day. Breath is a passive choice, you know? And then you have some really big ones like, I've been, you know, this particular faith all this time, but it's not resonating with me. I'm looking for something more, and you turn to what you want to call a spiritual route. And I would say right there, and hopefully not forsake this channel, that even though we have choice, a lot of times we make choices out of places that don't require choice. It's not either or, but it's and. Because if you think about it, taking duality and you have these choices and then you make a choice, you're here now. So everything from here is indeed for you, because that's a part of your journey. So, so yes, you make choices, but in the spirit realm here, you are allowed to do what's called surrender and flow and respond to the energies around you. And when you do that, you are doing a lot of observation in the space that you would be trying to make a bunch of decisions, you know, instead of just allowing things to play out, allowing your mind to conceptualize, understand, then understand, and then decide whether or not you're going to respond. Maybe it was just something that you were to observe, you know? So all of these things are happening, and you become, I want to say, more nimble in how you respond. Triggers, things that have caused you trauma in the past, perhaps, that maybe recently you're becoming better at not having the same response, but because you're actually doing they say doing the work, but it's doing the observations. And because if you've already done it, you don't have to do it again. Let's not rehearse our past, you know. If you've already done it, this is now history. You can recollect it, but you don't have to relive it, right? So this becomes, to me, it makes more and more sense as you move forward in this way of unlearning and relearning everything that you've ever been presented, so that you know what you're going to carry forward, what you're going to not carry forward, which I would say release or transmute. Let it, you know, let the energy go back to ether and become something else. When you do that with more and more grace, you start to feel more and more confident about your decisions, about your spiritual abilities, all those kinds of things. Some of you will naturally take to the cards. Some of you will naturally take to herbs and roots, crystals. Those are things are much closer to me than tarot cards ever would be, you know. I need to have my hands in the earth. But you start to understand yourself inside and out, and it's a beautiful thing. You hit that pit, you know, and one would call it dark night of the soul, but this place where you just don't know how to get out of it, and it's bad. It's real bad. But here's the thing, the only way you don't get out of it is to not keep pressing. You must persevere, actually. All of your religious teachings apply here. That's why you don't have to make a choice between them, is all I'm saying. Lifelong Christian, I do not see any separation between everything that I have understood with my God and what I get when I open my eyes and look outside of all of that and consider all the religions, consider all of the faiths, consider all the walks and the paths, and see how they all not just intertwine, but they affirm each other. They really do. It's a conversation for another day. But you must be willing to look at it fully to see it. You can't come with it with fear. Conversation for another day. So right now, whatever form you have chosen, this is how you're showing up. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be different. You just have to show up as yourself. You don't have to, you get to. And as you show up as yourself every single day, you are going to have some days that you are better or worse at the public side of things. Those of us that are more public, you know, our bad days can be very loud or very quiet. As for me, on my particularly bad days, you won't even see the shop open because I'm not going to do that to you. You know, it's not worth all that. We must be in a very stable place to provide this place for others. Those of you in metaphysics, you know, and I have been increasingly providing some guidance to those in metaphysics, those who have shops, who have, you know, this something that they're presenting to the world as their product, as their brand. And I'm seeing it more and more. When you're a healer of healers, if you yourself don't have somewhere that you connect into, you burn out just like anybody else. What have I been seeing in spirit community? I've been seeing newly awakened called earlier to hold space. While learning all the things, you're also called to hold space. And that's a tall order if you don't know what it is or how to do it, right? The short way to this, because I don't like long prattling on videos, I'd rather give you a little and then we'll come at this again later. But the short work of this is to truly get mindfulness. You're searching and researching everything else. Research mindfulness. Mindfulness as it pertains to spirituality. My mindfulness journey, what could that look like? You know, get a little more mature with the prompts that you're giving your AI search, right? Let's be, and go down that rabbit hole. Just go down that rabbit hole. How can I become more mindful day to day? It starts with intention. Intention, you want to be more mindful. So it will definitely start there. You're going to find that you do less because peace becomes your compass. And if it doesn't feel peaceful, you ought not do it. You really need to check out what's going on here. The discernment will raise. And you're going to start seeing that your energy becomes more and more stable, because first you're going to learn what stabilized energy is. Again, you're going to make that the next bullet, right? Understanding your chakras, which are your energy wheelhouses that are, for the most part, up your spine and through the top of your head, right? Through the soles of your feet. But here at Sublime Journey, I don't talk about 7 chakras. I talk about 9, because I consider the Earth Star below your feet and the Soul Star above your head. I want the portals to the body to be considered in the conversation. So that's something that I encourage you to also incorporate. It's the whole reason why, you know, my Sovereignty Gateway activation set has the 9 crystals instead of just the 7. I find that to be very important. So really, to button this up here, in the world that we're in today, how we are showing up matters really. It really matters, because when one hides, you're not even counted. We can't see you. Your energy is hidden. And whatever spiritual gifts are attached to you, whatever your soul's journey is, I mean, like all the things that are specific to you, and then you unplug, that's a lot that has to be reconsidered and recycled and redistributed among it's a lot. So what would be a really good thing to do right now is go into practice mode of something that sounds like, if everything that I've known has been impacted, how do I stay on my journey? How do I still progress so that at the time which everything stabilizes, I have not been sitting in this space where I have not been progressing and I am here frustrated. That's preventable. So yes, this right now, this is time to learn how to hold space, so that if you're not holding space, you are moving. You are doing the things. You're learning how to do all of this in balance. It's the same guidebook that's always been there. Being real, it's the same instruction. No matter what the state of this world is, you and where you are in your journey must progress. Some people have a very active role in either the destruction or the resurrection that's coming. But then there's a lot who are to hold the energy. Some are holding records. You know, we're not even talking, I'm not even talking about the Akashic records. I'm talking about physical, actual, you know, documents, microfiche, saved, soft copy, hard copies. They're saving things, because we know how history works. When it's lost, you know, unless there is any breadcrumb. So there's people are activated across the board to do their thing, whatever it is that they do. You are one of these activations. So you're not going to activate and then coast on cruise control or neutral. This is time to be active. So the questions must get answered. You know, well, I don't know in the way the world is right now, when am I gonna, you know, all of those dots. Get your answers. If you're not getting them, DM, let's talk about it. You know, I mean, but you can't, after this transmission, what you can't do is say that you don't know what the next step is. If nothing else, the next step is a DM or a comment, or a sitting in the dark with yourself. And if you don't know how to meditate, then just sit there quietly and empty your mind. Allow your mind to empty. It takes a while. But sit there. And if you can't sit there, then maybe take a slow walk. and try to allow it to empty that way. But, you know, one way or another, get close to yourself so you can figure it out. Newly awakened, you're kind of like the rest of us now. Multitask? No. No. While you're figuring things out, you're probably going to flip pretty dynamically and utilize them, be able to practice them. That's a good thing. Yeah, I feel the shift. I feel the end of that transmission. So yes, how we show up to the world matters. That you show up to the world matters. Nothing in that transmission said sit there and work through your ... No, you can work through your ... while you're doing what it is that you would be doing if you weren't working through your ... Yes, it's quite urgent, actually. That just means that there is yet another shift coming, and to make this shift, you really do need to be decidedly in your core, decidedly rooted in your you-ness, so that you are recognizable to accept and feel the shift. And that is all I will say on that today. I really do hope everyone has a wonderful day. As you can see, I am here in Sublime Journey today. My mother's in town, so if it's not me, it's Mom. So you may, you really might want to come by here today. She'll be relieving me shortly, I think. But yeah, make this a beautiful day. Make this a day of progress. Make this a day where, even though you may be confused about things on journey, that you don't allow that confusion to paralyze you, to stop you from moving forward. Because just think about it. If the timeline is sped up, and it has, if the timeline is sped up and you decide to slow down, look at what you're doing. You're creating a lot of space for error, to be honest. You're creating a lot of space that the universe has to try to come back and reach you, to give you your signs and your signals. So you definitely want to shorten that gap and just continue moving forward. Continue moving in the direction that you are being led, especially when it's really clear. Confusion a lot of times comes in when, I won't say that signs are being ignored, but you're not acting on them. And ignoring them and not acting on them is the same signal to the universe. And you create that space. So I'm not sure who needed to hear that, but I'm happy to deliver it. Yeah, this is gonna be it for today. I'm gonna, anytime I channel, my armpits start sweating. So I'm gonna go take care of that. And everybody really, really enjoy the rest of your day. Stop in and see what calls to you. Take a deep breath when you walk through the threshold. 3 of them usually can activate. You'll see. Make it a beautiful